Welcome to the unveiling of yet another blueprint project. Today, we're going to talk about the heartbeat of our past in this neighborhood.
Tallahassee's Smokey Hollow Commemoration stands in remembrance of the African American community that existed from its founding after the Civil War to its unfortunate destruction in the 1960s. Smokey Hollow covered much of the area that is now Cascades Park and was home to industrious African Americans working to forge a path of their own despite the limitations presented by segregation. Smokey Hollow was a warm and tight-knit family community. The last remaining structure from the neighborhood is a barber shop that was run by Mr. Raleigh Powell. The barber shop helps tell the story of the people who lived in Smokey Hollow, and it brings their memories and legacy to life. With the help of former Smokey Hollow residents and others, this blueprint project has restored the historic barbershop and returned it to the community where it rightly belongs.
From the beginning, it was a real challenge because a lot of people did not understand as they went about trying to develop this 24-acre park that there was a blueprint before the park. And that was the 80-some families, their churches, their schools, their businesses that provided a community space, a connecting.
This story has been told because it tells of that community that I lived in for 18 years. I lived over here. I was born in a house over there right next door to the barber shop, 619 East St. Augustine Street. The barber shop was 621 East St. Augustine Street.
The barbershop to me was quite an experience as a child because one thing, during those days, the grown men used to hang around there. They played checkers. We go in, wait around, get our hair cut. But we also went there. I used to shine shoes in that place, sell peanuts and stuff like that.
This is such a pleasure as we come to what I look at as the culminating of this project, but the beginning of many others.
It's like digging into a treasure to find out about Smokey Hollow, some of the things that we didn't know about. But being a resident of the area, I knew a lot of things that went on. I remember when I was growing up. But I'm enjoying, this is like a reunion of reminiscing, seeing a lot of people I hadn't seen that I already knew.
I have chosen to talk about my great-grandfather, Eddie Barrington, because he was Tallahassee's oldest living foot soldier till he recently passed away on December 12, 2017 at the age of 99. My great-grandfather was part of the Foot Soldier Project. The Foot Soldier Project focused on unsung foot soldiers, those individuals who, despite playing important, powerful, and historic roles in the civil rights movement, remain largely unknown.
We worked really hard to include the residents to make sure we did honor to their memories and that everything was historically accurate and representative of what it was like. We had people like Ms. Larkins who lived next door. We had people like Sister Hartsfield that used to come in there as a boy and remember, and then seeing the community, having the committee's feedback come through that process, I think brought to life something I keep saying it, but did honor to the project. And seeing the smiles and the laughter today under the trees, I think is the kind of laughter we would have heard 50 years ago.
With the grand opening of the barbershop, it's a good occasion. Life in Smokey Hollow was very supportive, collective. It was a community effort. Some people didn't have a lot, but you had to make do with what you had. But whatever somebody else had that they could share to help you, they would make that available to you.
We get to sit here in a very diverse community, commemorating and celebrating the contributions and the lives of people who, during that time, were just doing their regular business. And today they get to be looked upon as great servant leaders and people upon whose lives we now build additional steps. And so I just want to celebrate the fact that we live in a community where we get to celebrate this kind of history.
I'm happy that this edifice exists in commemoration of Smokey Hollow. I think it's a fitting tribute to the people who lived in Smokey Hollow. It's a great source of pride for me, being a member of the Tallahassee community.
They had manual clippers that they used, And when they want to cut your hair closer, they change the blade in it, but still it was all manual until such time as you got electricity in that place, and then they change over to electrical clippers, you know. But it's quite an experience there.
What kind of styles would you say you wanted when you back in the day?
A crovata.
Crovata.
My mother called it a 4-week haircut because we wouldn't comb it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So they cut all your hair off, called a crovata.
It was a real close cut.
Crovata.
I'm proud to be a part of a community that fights to reserve this type of history. Because in this day when we talk so much about young black boys in our community and the lack of fathers in the household and the need for male role models, you can look no further than a place just like this all over town to find those role models, to find that place where you can find African American men that are willing to sit down with those young men in this community to have conversations about what it means to be a man and how to grow into manhood. For those who were able to get their hair cut in this barbershop, congratulations on being able to see this place come back here, and you can have those memories of what you learned in this spot.
Well, it's been a really phenomenal experience. We've been working there for, maybe 6 to 8 months with the Smokey Hollow committee that I've been there, but this group has been together for over 2 years, bringing this vision of Smokey Hollow back to life. But we've met on a regular basis and just shared stories and thought, how can we honor those stories and make them come to life again here today? And I think we accomplished that, and that was really special.
There were no sidewalks. We lived on dirt roads, and the people would park their cars in front of the barber shop and all along the street because they came from all sections of Tallahassee to get their hair cut. And it was a gathering place for gossip, for finding out what was going on, and people just having a good time.
I'm just overcome with nostalgia because when I see this barbershop and hear the conversations about what went on here, I think back to the barbershop along with the church and the school was the heart of very vibrant African American communities back then because we were forced to be self-dependent. And we had thriving businesses like barbershops and stores and taxis and hotels and other amenities in the community where we could go, and those were people that we could count on to be role models for us. We were all a family.
It brought back a lot of memories just to see this building, but just the thought that they would bring something back that I could call going back home. The fact that they built this park, the Cascades Park, with the spiritual houses, that gave something at least for me to hold on to as I go through life because the rest of it is history, you know. But it was good. Very good. I'm very impressed with it.
It has really been a labor of love to work with this committee. People who have come together and made the history of Smokey Hollow vivid. This particular labor of love was quite easy because we had excellent people working with us.
I learned so many things. I learned all about the lifestyle of the people of Smokey Hollow, down to its name, from the smoke that was coming up from the work that they did here in this neighborhood, down to the little things. They showed me the manual hand clippers. I never would have guessed what those were. But really understanding how special this neighborhood was and how special the people were and still are, that was by far and away my favorite thing that I got to learn and experience throughout this project.
I think today has been marvelous. I am so pleased at the crowd, the people who came out to witness this very important occasion. Very proud of people who traveled here, who once lived on this same ground to see the Hollow Barbershop and this last phase of the Smokey Hollow Historic Group come to an end.